Welcome back, everybody. This is Brown Sugar Confessions, the show that only airs on Power 1017. And we are here tonight with an amazing co-host, along with our always co-host. I am Doc Val, and we are super excited for this show. I hope everyone's well out there. I am still getting over this Omicron COVID crap. You know, I had a little fever today after 7 days now. I still am not feeling the best. But nevertheless, we are here doing the most with all these beautiful co-hosts and the community. So Miss KD, love, how are you tonight?
Hey guys, I'm doing wonderful. Getting ready for our next snowstorm. We're about to have like 3 snow days in a matter of like 5 days.
Ooh.
With our school district, and we'll see how that goes. But everything's very good here. Just ready to get the show started.
All right. And Miss T, what's up with you in the ATL?
Oh man, the weather is all over the place and it's giving me a headache. I'm just ready for the weather to decide whether it's either going to be hot or if it's going to be cold. None of this in between stuff. And I haven't seen the actual sun in probably like the past couple of days. But outside of that, it's been pretty good. But everybody, can we give Dr. Val some positive energy and maybe like some ginger ale energy so she can get over this sickness? Because we're trying not to be or stay sick in the year of our plague 2022. It's New Year. Stop getting sick, everybody.
I know, right? Get this Omicron crap out of here. Trees, what's up with you, love? How's New York?
It's like normal here, but there's no snow on the ground, so I'm super happy about it because where I live now, they don't really plow up here, so I'm happy about it. And while I'm in the house, I'm trying on every bikini I have because I'm getting ready to go be a hot girl with Doc Val in Honduras.
Hey.
Hey.
So I got all the hot girl bikinis over here. Over here.
Brown Sugar Confessions is going on a road trip. So in a few weeks, we're going to be actually recording live from the British island of Roatan, Honduras. It's going to be amazing, fun show. I'm going to try to talk them to do this show nude on the beach.
I'm down with it. I'm down.
I know.
Wait, how nude is nude? Like, are we like nude with like a nice little coverall, or like we just
buck naked?
Tatas out.
Tatas to the wind. You buck naked.
Tatas in the wind. And sand in the hoo-ha type of nude?
Yes, we're going for that kind of nude.
My.
I just threw it out there, but I figured that'd be fun. Why not?
There she go, manifesting again, y'all.
I'm manifesting. The clothes is coming off for the show we're going to do. So make sure that you like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube at Brown Sugar Confessions. And as always, if you have any questions regarding sex and relationships, don't hesitate to reach out to me at Valerie@swancenter.com. That's with 2 N's. That's with Valerie@swancenter.com. But enough about all of us and our hot girl stuff that we're doing in Roatan coming up in a few weeks. Our first show, I'm so excited. We have this beautiful young lady in our group tonight. She's an amazing lady that I met a few years ago. And her name is Charlee. Charlee, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I can't even express words of gratitude.
Oh, we are happy that you are here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Charlee. Charlee not only is one of my students in my school of clinical sexology that I think a lot of you know that I actually operate. She's one of my favorite students, a very hardworking student, about to graduate, did her practicum with me. She's done an amazing job. So get ready, world, because when she's unleashed and finishing, she's going to be an amazing clinical sexologist out there. So let me tell you a little bit about Charlee. Charlee has traveled the world exploring and teaching pole dancing, and she's a circus performer in Las Vegas. She's been in 52 different countries, and she got in a car accident, I think, around 2018. And I think, if I recall correctly, racked up a lot of medical bills. bills from the car accident. And because of that, she had to make some extra cash and started discovering and dancing at a topless club in Utah to pay down her medical bills from her accident. And one thing that she didn't expect was how much she loved the art of stripping. If you haven't gone on YouTube to see Charlee, she's absolutely beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. So years after, Charlee is still a world-class acrobat and a circus performer with a little bit of stripper on the side. I love her bio. So Charlee, love, welcome. We're so happy that you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Well, we're going to jump right into it because we got a lot of questions because this is Brown Sugar. It's time for you to confess some stuff. All right. We just going to hop right onto it. So let's talk about in this segment, your life as a stripper. And from reading your bio, so I understand that you got into, and would you prefer to say stripper or erotic dancer, exotic dancer? What's the word?
So I personally prefer stripper because exotic is actually not quite a term that feels conducive to my white body, if that makes sense. So I prefer stripper. It's what I do. It's what I enjoy. I like taking my clothes off. It's very fun. But yeah, so stripper is great. Erotic dancer is great. But exotic I tend to stay away from.
Got it. Okay. All right. So as a stripper, so when did you decide to, I know you got your accident, you got your medical bills, and you said, let me go and be a stripper. I'm going to talk to you about the decision to try this art form. When you decided to do this, did you have a lot of trepidation about your friends or your family and what they might think about what you do? Because I also know that you're a Mormon, correct? Or is that correct or no?
No, I was born and raised in Utah, and my family, my grandparents are Mormon. My mom left the Mormon church before she had me, and but my bio dad went on a mission, Mormon, and my adopted dad is actually just barely left the church like 6 years ago. So there is a lot of Mormonism in my family, but I was never actually raised in that culture.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So when you decided to be a stripper and try this out, how did you tell your family? Do they know? Do they know they listen to the show?
These are all such good questions. I love them all. Okay, so yeah, I had so many little anxieties, I guess, about going into being a dancer. The main one was I am a pole dancer, and I'm actually like a world champion pole dancer. Like I've done the competitive side for so long, and I've taught it and I've performed it for so long. And there used to be a stigma looking down on strippers. And so I was really nervous that actually my pole dancing community would be talking behind my back or look down on me or have some different judgments about me taking this journey. So that was actually even more than my family. Like I was more nervous about the pole community looking down on me. And actually my family does know, all of my family knows. I was really hesitant to tell my siblings because 3 of them were practicing Mormons when I started dancing. So I actually didn't tell them initially, but I told my mom and I told my dad, and it took me a long time to tell my older brother because for some reason it felt really nerve-wracking. But now everyone in my family knows, like my immediate family knows. I don't think my grandparents or anything knows, but.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned pole dancing and stripping. I'm ignorant. Aren't they the same thing?
Amazing. Good question. They are within the same realm, in my opinion. I feel like pole dancers should ode to strippers because strippers are what started it all. Like, yes, thank you. I agree.
Back there clapping.
Yeah, I mean they are like the whole pretense to pole dancing is because of strippers. The only reason we have skills or tricks is because strippers created some. Like we would be nowhere. Pole dancers would be nowhere without strippers, and I know a lot of pole dancers would fight against that and fight back, but for me personally, I've always respected strippers, and I've always like been like, I couldn't do it. I can now. But before I was like, I couldn't do it. You guys are braver than I am. But so pole is more, the way I used to do pole dancing was more of a very fitness, trick oriented skill based. Because of my background of gymnastics and because of my background of circus, it was very easy to take really dynamic big skills and put them on that metal pole. So for pole dancers, it's more of an apparatus. It's more of a like trick-based use. However, I am happy to say that nowadays it's getting back into the sexy, and more people are finding their groove into their femininity doing pole dancing rather than just like trying to do the most badass tricks. So I love that it's shifting back into that. But I have to admit, I was one of the first people to take pole into a very dynamic, crazy trick space, which is why I got so big in the pole world so quickly. But it's funny because I went there and then I brought it back to like the sexy side, and then the like pole community has kind of gone in waves of like tricks, sexy, tricks, sexy, tricks, sexy, if that makes sense. And then in my opinion, stripping is raw. Like there can be technique to it, but a lot of the time it's just women out there feeling themselves and the men feeling them, and it's a lot more animalistic and raw in what I've experienced for myself. I can't say that for every stripper. I don't want to speak for every dancer out there, but for me, it's I can tune in way more deep into my raw sexuality when I'm dancing than when I'm performing on a stage, like performing competitively on a stage, I should say.
Got it. So as a pole dancer, you're a professional pole dancer. And I guess, and you were a champion because they have competitions. And you're a world champion. Oh my gosh. Can I get an autograph, girl? Or can you sign like,
I'm saying though, what's up?
Can I like get your fanny signs or something? I don't know. I'm just asking. The girl needs to know. I mean, I'm sure that I could sell them on eBay for like, $10,000 or something.
No, maybe like $3 maybe.
But so you decided to go and you're a world-class pole dancer, and then you go and you decide to strip. So like your first night, Charlie, like how anxious were you the first time you were like, I'm on this stage taking it off? Your first night. Tell me about it.
More anxious than I am talking right now, but not as less, not a lot less. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a little like nervous, but right now, but yeah, the first time I went on stage, I was very nervous. I'm trying to like tune back into that day. But I remember I just bought these new heels and I was so excited to use them. They're like these pink suede high like heels that went up to your like past my calf. They're so cute. I still have them, but I just remember being super excited about them. And then as I walked on, there was a girl in the audience and she was like, oh my God, her shoes. And as soon as she said that, I like instantly felt relaxed. I was like, yes.
Instantly.
Someone else likes my shoes. Yeah. But I was definitely nervous more in the aspect of I had never taken my clothes off ever for money. And even in general, like, unless it was like in a really romantic or a really raw sexual space, I had never just taken my clothes off and been like, here's my body, look at it. So, and I remember when I went to unbuckle my top, it wouldn't come off and I just started laughing. And someone was like, what are you laughing at? I was like, I can't get my top off and this is my only job. This is
like you had one job, ma'am.
I have one job and I can't do it. I finally got it off, but I think having that comedic moment made it way more enjoyable and way more relaxed as soon as I did get it, because I was like, yay.
Right.
Yeah. So and I try to be like this sexy, funny, playful stripper. I'm not a very serious person in general, and so it kind of works with my vibe. But yeah, the first time it was nerve-wracking, but so fun and so liberating. Like,
Yeah.
I remember as soon as my boobs were out, I was like, oh, I did it. Like,
You did it. You felt good about it.
Yeah. And then it was almost like it didn't matter anymore. Like, as soon as the top was off, it was just like, oh, I'm just dancing.
Right. So is the money as good as it's portrayed on Instagram? Because, you know, if I'm canvassing Instagram or, you know, what is it? TikTok, you know, you'll see the strippers, they'll be posting live, they've got money all over the place. Is that a bunch of hogwash or is that like real? That's the question I have.
I and my club, the girls always say right person, right time. So there's some nights where you're racking the money in, like you honestly, you can't even collect it in your own hands. And then there's some nights you're like, cool, I got $5 on stage today. That sucked. So I feel like it evens out. Like there's some nights I go home and I'm like, I just paid my mortgage for 2 months, you know? And then there's some nights I'm like, cool, this is for dinner. So it definitely depends on the person and the day and the like time and the person you connect with. It fully depends. And I also think it very, very much depends on your level of confidence. Okay. If you're on the stage and you're not very confident and you're not very interactive with the people, you're not going to make money. Like, you can be the sexiest goddamn woman in the world. You can. And if you can't interact or connect to the people you're dancing for, and if you don't have that confidence, you're not going to make money. You just aren't. Wow, that's powerful. So when you're out there and you're dancing and you've got all this money, do you have to share your money with other dancers or the management? That's another question. You do. Well, so not with other dancers. The dancers make their own money. That's on them. Whatever they rake off their stage, that's for them. But you do have to, I mean, again, can't speak for every club, but at my club, we have to pay management, bouncers, and DJ. Abandonment. Yeah. Some clubs do like a flat rate. So some clubs it's like you have to pay $90. Like you walk in, you pay your $90, you dance, whatever you take home, you take home. My club is off a percentage. I can't actually tell you which percentage it is, but we have a percentage that we have to pay the house fee, and then we have percentages that we have to pay the bouncers and the DJ. Okay, and you're stripping in Utah, not in Vegas. I do strip in Utah. I have chosen not to strip in Vegas thus far, mainly because I'm trying to keep my circus world and my stripping world slightly separate. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All righty. And another question I have for you, I know the girls have a lot of questions, so I'll let them ask. I just have one more question for you is, you know, whenever I'm looking on Instagram or TikTok, you know, I see these young girls, and Charlee, you're young. Are there old strippers like me? I mean, I think that's an amazing question. So the oldest dancer I've danced with was 52. Oh, and she was hot, and she's still dancing actually. She goes by Riley. She's in Utah. If anyone wants to check her out, she's amazing. She dances at Blue Sapphire in Ogden. I hope that's okay that I blasted her, but if she's okay with it, we're okay with it. I'll reach out and ask her, but she is phenomenal. She does this trick that literally every time she does it, everyone in the club like stops and watches her. Like she's fantastic, and she's the only stripper I've ever seen that gets away with dancing to country music. Oh wow! Yeah, come to Texas. What?
Come to Texas. They all dance to country music.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Utah is not really a country music type of place, so not used to it, I guess. But Texas, that would make sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna let the other girls talk and ask questions. I'm gonna shut up because I just got so many. I'm just gonna keep going. So go ahead. However, Val, if you wanted to strip, guaranteed you would make hella money.
Yes, you would. Yeah. You got that whole domineering personality. You have people you would have people to walk on that would pay you for it.
Yeah. What? You would dominate it.
Yeah. I'm about to go ahead and be an old stripper, y'all. I'm about to put my grandkids through college in the pole. I am about to do some things.
Eat it.
I need some stripper heels, Charlie. Help a girl.
I got you. I have so many. I have so many.
Love it.
Oh my God. Okay, so I guess my question is, well, it's not, well, it is a question. So I used to be a stripper in Texas, made tons of money, but I think the most preconceived notion that people have, especially when somebody says, "Oh, you're a stripper," like when I would meet people and they were like, "What do you do?" I'm a stripper, and they're like, "You're having sex in the back room." No, I'm not. I'm really not. And I want to know what it's like. What is something that is a preconceived notion of strippers that is, I mean, it may be true, but it's really not. Like, it's like, there's this truth and then there's the bigger truth.
Yeah, percentage. Yes, for sure. So fun fact, in Utah, we're actually not allowed to be touched at all by clientele. So there's actually no backstage dances. There's no backroom dances. There's no lap dances even. Like, we will go and we'll sit and have drinks with them, but there's no touching. However, I have a lot of friends that dance in Vegas. And by a lot, I mean, I have a lot of friends that dance in Vegas. And I hate to say this, I was that person. I asked because I wanted to know, like, what happens in the back room, because I've heard this and I've heard that. And 99% of the time, they're like, "Oh, we just sit and talk. Like, I'll sit on their lap and we'll talk about things, and we'll have these really in-depth, deep conversations. And sometimes they'll massage my shoulders, or I'll massage their shoulders, or like give them scalp massages. Like, but it never exceeds most of the time they don't even end up taking their clothes off. So I think a lot of the time these men are coming into the clubs not just looking for like melons and peaches, but they're actually looking for a deeper connection, someone to like see them and them see the other person. And I think that's where people get lost. I do know a lot of the time people go out to the strip club to have parties, and those actually aren't the people that are attracting most of the strippers, because I think there's a lot more in depth that happens when someone asks you to have a private.
What about sitting at, the tables? Because I know people like to say, "Oh, you guys just talk about, really wild stuff." And it's really not that. Like, I used to ask, "So what'd you have for dinner? What were you doing before this? Why did you come here?"
Yeah. I feel like it varies. Every single person I talk to, I have a different conversation with. Like, it's never the same conversation. Like, I'm trying to think. There was a person he is one of my deepest friends now, and I met him at the club, and I went and sat by him, and he was like, "You're an amazing dancer." And I was like, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "I want to get to know you more. Like, you caught my eye while I was dancing, and like, I want to know more about you." And then he just told me some of his life story. And like, then it just became this really cool conversation of like, we started here, and then this is where our life has ended up now. And I learned almost everything about him in that one day. And never did we talk about sex or sexiness or anything intimate. It was just really cool to get to know him. And then he asked me about my life, and I told him about circus, and I told him about pole, and I told him about my dreams. And like, that made me like, we're such good friends now. Yeah, I know. And I love him so hard.
That is, and that's so cool. But we have to take a break, everyone. I'm sorry. I know this is super interesting. We're going to get back to it. Join us here on Power 1017. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. We love to see that you are back here with us. We hope everybody's re-up on their drinks. You went to potty because we are done paying bills for right now. So remember, you can catch us every Wednesday at 11 p.m. here on Power 1017. And you can also check us out on Thursday and afterwards if you missed any of our episodes previously on YouTube. So don't forget to like and subscribe, hang out with us. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. If you got a question or something that is related to sex and relationships and couples and kink and all of everything in between there, reach out to Dr. Val at Valerie@swancenter.com. That's Valerie at Swan with 2 N's, center.com. And we are getting back into the conversation with our new favorite person, Miss Charlee. Here, she swings on the pole with the greatest of ease, and she is also a wonderful circus performer. Welcome back, Charlee. And Tracy, because Tracy brought up a very interesting point about strippers being empaths, and I was like, we got to go back to that. So let's go back to that real quick.
Yeah.
So what I was saying was, have you ever experienced this where you're in the club and you're dancing and you're, because you're kind of high, you can see the audience. Have you ever been able to pinpoint who is going to connect best with you? Because I've noticed, I was a dancer for quite a long time and I danced in a couple of different states. Dancers are natural, untapped, well, some of them are untapped empaths, and they're able to pick out the people that will best suit them and provide them with money. For me, I met some of my best friends. I still have clients that still send me money.
Wow.
from when I was a dancer.
Whoa.
And that's because I could connect with them energetically. What do you think?
Yeah, oh my God, 100%. I think this is the most accurate description of dancers that I've experienced today. Every single one of my dancers, my friends that are dancers that make really good money, are very natural empaths. I'm a natural empath, and I've had one bad day out of dancing ever. And I've had one weird thing said to me ever. And I think that's because of what you were saying. When you're looking out in the room and you're dancing and you see someone that like makes an actual connection to you. So it's like, it happens through the eyes almost every time. And then like, it'll be a smile. And then when you go to conversate with them, it's next level. It's not just like, oh, how's the weather? The weather is okay. It's, you go in deep and you build these connections. And I think a lot of the time as the woman, you feel like you need to, I don't know, kind of protect yourself. But when you're empathetic and you're in that empath state, when you can attract that space with that other being or that other male or that human, it makes you feel safe, and then it makes them feel safe, and that's how you make that money. Like, you're not making money because you're hot. That I feel like that's a very
it doesn't work like that?
No, I mean, be beautiful, put on lipstick. I mean,
I'm about to say, you mean I got a chance? What?
I'm telling you, everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance to dance. Everybody should be doing it. At least once in their life, you should, if you're led to do it, do it. There is not a look or a body type. What people don't understand is it is also a connection. Yeah. Like, I danced in Central Texas, racist. And I was easily pulling in money from men that would not look at other dancers, but would look at me, and I could go sit down and I could go talk to them. I had an engineer. We did math at the table.
Hold on. What kind of math? We talking calculus, trig? Like, what we doing?
He was
some of that you need a partner to figure it out.
He was reading. No, actually, he was reading a book in the club. He had a little light and he was reading a book, and it was a book I had read. So I sat down and I was like, so what do you think of chapter 6? And he looked at me and he was like, he looked me up and down and he was just like, you read this? And I was like, yeah, did you see this? And we started talking. Do you know that man paid for me to go to college? Paid for me to go to college.
So that man looked at you and was like, you just a stripper. What you know about this?
Yeah, he did. And they do, but when you make that connection, because he looked at me on stage, he saw me and he kind of went like this, like, and then went back to reading like he was bored. And I'm like, got you, sucker. I sat down and we started talking, and he would pay for me to come in on days that I did not work, and we would sit and just talk about books we would read.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, there's something deeper that goes into it. And when I say deeper, people are always like, oh, so there is a sexual energy. It's not sexual. It's an actual just human connection that's incredible and beautiful. And that's what I believe these men come to the club to actually fulfill. They might go into it not thinking that that's what they're looking for. But when you meet that that desire, they're your world. You're their world at that point. Like,
yep, they'll come up for your birthday with gifts and cake. Yeah. It's not like, oh yeah, it's never that. Because believe me, I could get that. It's the mental connection that you get with them. It really is.
So you guys are saying it's not about the sex. The guys are coming to the club. It's not about.
I mean, they may come in to see certain things, but when they get there and you not only they see the thing that they expect, but you give them the mental, they get blown away. They get blown away. They don't know what to do with it.
You're topping them from the bottom. Okay, you're topping them. I like that.
Wait. Hold on. Pause. Before you start using that lifestyle lingo, Dr. Val, you got to explain what that means, topping from the bottom.
Because it sounds like to me, I could be wrong. This is my takeaway from Charlie and Treese as strippers, is that, you know, the men come in with this expectation maybe of they're going to see these women on stage. It's going to get them turned on. They're going to maybe pay for sex in the champagne room, or after hours, I'm going to take them out and have sex with them. And it sounds like Treese and Charlie are saying that when they see these men, the energetic change that they have with them, they actually flip it so that they're in charge because they're empathic, and they're actually connecting with them on a level of intellect, not so much sex. That's what I'm hearing. I could be way off. I mean, I don't know. Tell me. Is that what I'm too deep in this or what? I think it's.
What do you think, Charlie? You go. You tell him, Charlie.
No. Is she lost in the sauce?
I think you're spot on. I think, and honestly, going through your school, I'm learning that the human condition is not just the satisfaction of sex, but it's the satisfaction of intimacy, and it's the satisfaction.
Oh, that's deep.
Say it again, girl. Say it again.
It's not the satisfaction of sex, but it's the satisfaction of meeting and intimacy. So people go in thinking they want sex when really they want intimacy, they want connection, and the desire in the body feels like desire for sex, but the desire is actually they want more in depth than what they're receiving.
Dang, that's deep.
It really is.
That was waves deep. Here in Atlanta, we have a stripper. At this point, she's a national icon. I know of her through news and social media. I have yet to actually go see her in person. I really want to at some point, hopefully soon. Her name is Blondie. She is, I think, 70 now.
What?
70.
Yeah. She has been dancing in Atlanta, I want to say at least 40 plus years.
Wow.
She is currently at the Claremont Lounge, and she is pretty much the only reason people ever go to the Claremont Lounge, to my understanding. So I'm still trying to get out there. So I'm like, when I get to the Claremont Lounge and I get to have the Blondie experience, I will report back.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so there's her. And then also with the stripping community and the music industry. So there was a very interesting documentary that came out a while back. I can't think of the name of it, but it talked about how much rappers depend on the stripping community here in Atlanta. One of the things being because we are what they call the second Hollywood in America. There's a lot of like acting, music, rap that comes out of Atlanta. So they say usually if a strip club does not play your song, it will not blow up. It will not blow up. So a lot of the strip clubs out here are the litmus test on whether you will be successful as a rapper.
Isn't there a rapper, a female rapper out of there? Is that Cardi B?
Cardi B's in New York. She's a New York stripper.
She was from New York. So where was she? Who was someone's famous? I believe was dancing in Atlanta and got their break from
a lot of people. Jessica Dime, the Erica Banks who sings "Bust It."
Bust it.
There's a couple of others that I can't think of off the top of my head, but Jessica Dime used to be. But Jessica Dime went from stripping to rapping and is now married to NBA player. Like, yo,
she ain't got to worry about money ever.
She's living the life. But yeah, it was a lot of people. Cardi B came. She was a really good stripper. Really good.
Right.
And yeah, in New York. And she was just like, I used to dance with all the Russians and not make no money.
Dang.
The Russians not putting no money out.
Yeah, it is the, as you go into any strip club, it's probably going to be the white women that are going to make the most and the lighter skinned. And then there's the rest of us that are not going to make as much because we are not considered Western beautiful.
Really? Do you find that, Charlie? So that was your experience, Therese, and you were dancing in Central Texas.
I was dancing in Texas. I danced in Florida. I danced in Las Vegas. I danced in LA. I danced in Hollywood.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I didn't know all that. Wow.
World traveled. I like it.
Yeah, girl. So interesting enough. Utah's very whitewashed. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's so whitewashed. I've danced with two girls of color, and they actually make hella good money in Utah. I think because they are such a commodity, and that's the term I would say in that aspect, people see them as very exotic in that space because it's I mean, I went my whole childhood growing up knowing two kids of color. It was so whitewashed. So I think in Utah, at least, and I can't speak for any other states, since it's such a rarity that a Black girl's dancing, they actually get really good money.
Wow.
Yeah. So Utah. Yeah, the two girls I've danced with, the two Black girls I've been able to dance with, they have phenomenal bodies, and the way they move their bodies is absolutely incredible. And I think that adds to their money, to be honest. And they're so confident, and they exude this like passion. So I don't think it doesn't go to just their color, but it definitely is like a little bit of an anomaly in Utah. So I think that all of that combined helps them make a little bit more money. And I wouldn't say more money than a white girl, but definitely in par with.
Okay, well that's cool.
Now I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So I know up here and over here on the East Coast, right now, if you go to a strip club, you're going to find tons of women. Like, I think that women are more into strip clubs these days than probably a lot of the guys are. To the point where I know now, like, there's places that just won't let women in because they're like, man, look, we need some place for ourselves. But what is it like in Utah? Do you find that the women there are that interested in that thing, or are they more like reserved and it's kind of left for the guys?
I think this depends on the night and the people. I think it is definitely more male heavy in Utah. And I actually am glad you brought this up, because a lot of women that go into clubs are looking for attention from the women and are really actually end up spending more money than some of the men. And but the female dancers tend to ignore them and or neglect them. However, I, as a dancer, I'm bisexual. And so when I dance and I see a woman on stage, I actually tend to give her more attention. And I think that's something that's rare and to get really excited about. And then especially if they're sitting with a guy, then they're taking his money and throwing it on your stage and making like, and so I think it's great for strippers that women are coming in to spend money, but the dancers need to then give them the same amount of attention as they would male customers.
Right.
Okay. I was about to ask that same question, KD, because I'm gonna confess, I've been to a strip club or two.
A two? Just two?
Just a couple in Vegas. I will say I've been to the one in Vegas, a couple of them, and it was really funny because I was with my husband and another couple, and Vegas, you're just having wild, crazy times. And I never will forget when we went in, I was like, I need some ones, I need some money. So, I told my husband, like, go to the, they have a little cashier, in the club. I was like, so like, get me like $500, give me some ones. And so my other girlfriend's like, yeah, 500, right? So they came out, we had ones on the table, like in front of us, right? We had all the strippers around us, and the other guys in the back, they were all pissed off at us because the other girls were going to them because we had all the money. We spent that. We had so many strippers. We were like, I was like, good God, I need more money. Go get me more money. We probably dropped $2,000 that night.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
We was dropping money. Like, our girl was like, what the heck? He was like, I cannot believe I just spent this much money. I would never spend this much money in a strip club by myself. I'm like, well, you took your wife, so this is what happened. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like when women come in, they get so much more hyped up and so much more excited than men. They're funner to dance with for sure. But they also do tend to spend more money, and they tend to hype you up, which makes the other men spend more money on you. I feel like strip clubs are a great place for women, as long as, this is my only thing, as long as the women don't then start to take the attention from the strippers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good
So I like how everyone was like, yep, because everyone's seen it, and all of us at my club joke about how after 1 p.m. every woman in the club thinks they're a stripper, because at 1 p.m. these girls are like giving their man lap dances, and they're trying to take their tops off, and then it does then pull away our money and the attention going to the dancers on the stage. So if you are going to go to a dance or a club and as a woman and support the strippers, make sure you're there to support them, not to become them unless you want to, and then audition.
Right?
I didn't even think of good shout out there, Charlie. I didn't even think about that.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you don't mind, I'm sorry. I got a quick question. I just thought about it. I feel like it's relatively important. What is the food situation at the strip clubs in Utah? Because here you can get a really good fried fish or fried chicken plate. Like, does it work the same way there?
I mean, you're in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
I mean, Utah has shit fried chicken.
So no fried chicken plates. No fried chicken plates. But like, what do they sell? Like, what do they have food there?
They do have food. I don't eat there often, but I know their French fries are phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like steaks and burgers and fries and.
Hold on. They got steak.
Steaks.
They have steak. Yeah.
We had brisket.
It's like
we had brisket.
It's Texas. Of course y'all have brisket. I'm trying to figure out what this steak situation is. Is this like, your average cheap $2 tough steak? Or are we talking about like the real deal?
They're pretty good steaks. Like, I actually shouldn't say this. I don't know. I don't eat meat, but the clientele that I've talked to and I've been like, hey, how's your steak? They're like, I'm surprised. It's actually really good. So.
Because that's like the hidden gem for a lot of the strip clubs in Atlanta is they have excellent food.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked that question, because I'm like, are all strip clubs like this? Because I know the strip clubs in my hometown were definitely not like this.
I don't think so. I definitely know that we're not known for our food. People wouldn't just come to our club to
I
eat.
would.
She's like, I want a big juicy steak.
Yeah, I'd be like, what's up with this ribeye? Which one do I need to go to?
She come in there. Let me get this food situation straight.
Yeah, I'm gonna come support the strippers, and I'm gonna get me a steak. Win-win.
Win-win. Get French fries though. The French fries are so good.
I love French fries. That would work.
Yeah.
So Charlee, what is in your how many years you been doing this?
So this is my 6th year. But I have been out for 6 months because I did get shoulder surgery 6 months ago. Well, 4 months ago, but I hurt my shoulder 6 months ago.
And you're is it fair to say you're the lead dancer or the manager of the dancer or something like that?
No, I would just be considered at this point like a veteran. So I've been there for a while. I've out danced most of the dancers. I think there's 3 of us that are originally that I started staff with. It flows a lot. Like girls come in and out a lot. And so there's 3 of us that have been dancing there since I started, and they actually were dancing before me. So the 2 are veterans. Like they're one of them is actually now the dancer manager, and she is so beautiful. It's ridiculous. She almost doesn't look real. But she's also adorable. And then the other one was actually one of my pole students, and I didn't know she stripped until I started stripping with her, which was kind of fun. Yeah, which was kind of fun. What?
No, I was gonna say, go ahead, finish up. I'm just cutting you off. I'm not excited for the question.
Oh, but no. So now I would be what's considered a veteran stripper. So I've been doing it long enough that I know all the stripper etiquette. I know stripper rules. I know all of the laws, like the Utah laws of dancing. That kind of example. That.
All right. So share with us the craziest thing. One of the craziest things that you experienced being a stripper. Do you have a crazy story?
I do. I do.
All right. Everyone get to the phone. We're going to confess. You're going to confess something.
Get on close. So the first club I worked at, which isn't the club I work at now, but the first club I worked at, it is very much known for its motorcycle gangs.
Oh my.
So yeah, so motorcycle gangs would come in and they spend really good money. So anytime they come in, it's like, you're going to have a good night. Like anybody, all the girls are having a good night, period. So one night, one of the motorcycle gangs came in and it was super fun, huge party. And I was dancing on one of the stages. So we had 3 stages. I was dancing on one of the side stages. And this guy, all of a sudden I just heard yelling. And I turned around and a guy was reaching to grab my butt. And if you don't know stripper etiquette, you shouldn't touch a dancer while she's on stage. Mm-hmm. You just shouldn't. Even if it's a touch state, you shouldn't touch a dancer. So he went to touch, bouncer grabbed him. Then he grabbed a beer bottle and slammed it over the head of the bouncer. And then one of the guys at the club, or one of the motorcyclists, he has been coming to the club a lot and saw the whole thing happen. So he backed up the bouncer. Glass all over my stage. I had bloody knees, bloody shins. All of the strippers started running off the stage and I kind of froze like a Bambi because I was still pretty new. And I froze like a deer in the headlights. Like, what do I do? And one of my stripper moms, she ran up, grabbed me, pulled me off stage. But I'm glad she did because actually a shot got fired that night.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
At the club. Yeah. And that was actually the one bad night I was telling you guys I've had at the club.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was very crazy, but I'm very grateful for my stripper mom. She took me under her wing and got me out of there. So
that is awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
So Charlee, you know what? We are, unfortunately, we could probably all talk to you for another
We need
hour.
a part 2.
We need a part 2, Charlee. Can you come back?
I totally can. Yes, I would love to do part 2.
Because we'd even get into our other topic, which is we're going to talk about, Charlee is also a world-class acrobatist and an athlete, and she works in Vegas at some of the best shows on the Strip as a flyer, correct?
Yeah.
And we get to get into that about sex and athletes. And so we're going to follow up a conversation with Charlee in a couple of weeks around sex and being an athlete. And this has been so much fun. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation.
I have. It's been incredible. You guys all have amazing questions. I love it.
Well, we were some nosy butts, but we just loved it. We were so inquisitive. Listen, you know, guys, by now, you can only get this conversation on Power 1017. Make sure that you like and go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us at Brown Sugar Confessions on YouTube. Send us emails at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And as always, if you have any questions regarding sex and relationships, just make sure you contact me. Charlee, you have been amazing. Co-host, you're always on your game. This has been a great, great night. And to our listening audience, thank you so much for always supporting Brown Sugar Confessions. You asking us to come back week after week is why we do this. So as we say, stay safe and play safe. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yay.
Night.